Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Starbucks. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we got Jim Rosati. Jim, good morning. Happy Monday.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Pirates coming off another series of victory, so it's feeling pretty good.
It's a good time to be a Pirates fan. It's a good time to talk about the Pirates.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and it's it's not like doom and gloom stuff like it's been the past couple of years. So,
right,
yeah, it's been fun. You know what? It was a fun April.
We legit got through the entire month of April. It is May 1st right now.
Yeah,
the Pirates. First off, have 20 wins. They're 20-9, and like you said, there's a lot of good things to talk about. At this point last year, I think we were already tied. Well, actually, at this point last year, I think we just started doing post-game shows. What a nightmare that was.
Was a terrible idea.
Terrible idea. But yeah, fast forward a year later, and these are great. These are talking about the Pirates is a really good and fun thing to do.
Yep. 20.
It's a trendy thing to do now.
Yeah, 20 victories in April. They're coming off what now, DiNardo? 4 straight series wins to end the month. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff happening. People should be looking forward to this coming month. A lot of exciting games kind of right on the docket here too as we turn the calendar over to May.
Yeah, for sure. We got through April. Of course, a lot of talk was, well, who do they play? And again, the good teams, well, this is what they do. They beat up on the bad teams. And Jim, they sure as hell beat up on them quite a bit.
Yeah. You can only play who you're scheduled against. And the Pirates beat them all for the most part.
Right.
Which, you can say as much as you want about they haven't played anybody. And I don't necessarily think that's entirely true. But the teams that they've played, they've beat, and they've won more games than any other team in the National League.
Right, for sure. So, again, good stuff. And I think we should talk. We got some things on the docket today. We're going to talk a little about the bullpen in a positive way. Maybe. We're going to talk about our prospects. Again, we're using the show to talk prospects, and then we will talk about this upcoming Rays series, which, as you mentioned, will be a big one. So I guess let's get into our first shot of the day. So, Jimothy, we've discussed that the one weakness in this Pirates team right now has probably been the bullpen. The offense is there. The starting pitching has certainly been there, right? We talked about the run of quality starts they've had. We've talked about the amount of wins they've had, which at this point last year, there was still not one starting pitcher win. But the bullpen has kind of been masked. It's been masked because the starting pitching has been so good. Holy hell.
My dog's chase. I don't know what's going on. They're so hyper this morning. My dog's just chasing my cat around the house.
They got the bucko fever, man. It's
they do.
Wow.
I don't. They're in a mood this morning.
Bring them on the show. Let's talk the bullpen with them. But there they are. Yeah. See, they're coming on the show now.
Yeah.
But for real, as we were talking, the starting pitching has really helped mask them. They've gotten them to David Bednar and Halderman, which has been like the high point. But I want to talk. Well, first off, let's talk and give David Bednar like his flowers right now, because we kind of gloss over him at every start. But let's also talk a little bit about this depth. And if you squint hard enough, if you feel like there's something there.
Yeah, let's definitely start with David Bednar. He was just simply outstanding for the month of April. 13 appearances, 9 saves, 13 innings. So he just went 1 inning every appearance. 17 strikeouts. He's got a .69 earned run average, and then also a nice .69 whip to go along with it. You look at his baseball savant page, and it's just nothing but red everywhere. His percentile rankings all in red. He is basically, I mean, you could make an argument right now that he's the best closer in the National League. You can make an argument he's the best closer in baseball. I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but like the numbers are there that you could make the argument.
For sure. Absolutely. For sure. Like you said, he's nuts. It's just absolutely nuts what he's doing right now. You kind of came in wondering and worried after last year how David Bednar would look. There wasn't a whole lot of spring. There's a lot of WBC he was part of. He looks better than ever right now. It's unbelievable. He comes in, game over.
Yeah, I mean, just on the Pirates staff alone, he leads the team in WAR. I want to say he actually leads all relief pitchers in baseball in WAR, and yes, he does. So, yeah, I mean, like, just the guy's been absolutely incredible. He's walking less than a batter per 9 innings. He's striking out people at an excellent clip. You mention it all the time, his fastball. If you want to kind of get into that, but it's basically been unhittable. Up to this point in the season. The guy, it's nice to see because I think he was definitely a question mark going into the year. You kind of saw him break down a little bit last year. He got hurt. He did the World Baseball Classic thing, so we didn't really see him a whole lot in spring training, and I think he only got in a couple games there in the WBC. So it was like, okay, well, what David Bednar are we going to see? Are we going to see the dominant David Bednar? Are we going to see the okay one? Are we going to see the one that doesn't really look that good? And we are seeing the dominant David Bednar right now. And it's just every time he goes in the game, it's just on lockdown. Like he's not even allowing base runners. Like it's just 1, 2, 3, 9th inning every time.
And I feel like when he is, it's some stupid bloop. It's some very, very light hit contact, some bloop that goes out there and there's a base runner. Yeah, it's unreal. And like you're saying, getting back to the actual pitches, the 24th best pitch in baseball, his four-seamer, is ranked at -5 runs, which again, negative is good. The best pitch in baseball is Garrett Cole's four-seamer at -10. Garrett Cole's thrown it 333 times. David Bednar has thrown it 101. To also put that in perspective. Like if he continues his pace and threw as much as Garrett Cole, you would figure it'd be valued at like -15 runs. That's what I'm getting at, right? So like that's how good this has been.
Yeah, it's technically the 4th best fastball in baseball.
Yes, you took my next point. But yeah, it is. It's the 4th best four-seam. And this is like, listen, this is the batting average. Like this is the slash. People are hitting .038 against his four-seamer. This is the four-seamer. This isn't a slider. This isn't a curveball, right? This is a four-seam fastball. .038 batting average. .077 slugging. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. And the expected stats really aren't too far off that. So it's one of those deals where like, yeah, he's getting really, really good results. But then, you look at the batted ball numbers and it's legit. Like the fastball is legit. From what I can tell, he's the only pitcher on this entire list from these top 20 guys on here where the expected batting average of his fastball is below 100. So yeah, the guy's just absolutely dominant right now. His name deserves to be right up there with any closer in baseball.
Yeah, 100%. And like the next point I want to get to this too is he throws the fastball almost 60% of the time. Again, he is just dominating hitters right now. He is throwing a fastball and no one can touch it. And he's saying, and I'm going to throw you another fastball and I know you're not going to touch it. And they can't. They cannot. And it's like, again, like it's crazy. Like his other stuff is also good. Like his curveball is good. His split finger by the numbers are, it's whatever, but he throws it only 15% of the time. Like his curveball is also really good, but his fastball just dominates hitters. And like they know it's coming. Like this is where we're at again. This is the Pirates seem to always find some dominant closer, even in their bad years. And David Bednar kind of proved that last year. Of course, his usage, I feel like, made him kind of fall apart later, and that's why he didn't have the greatest season. But he's coming in here, like you said, the biggest takeaway, too, is 1 inning every outing. Yes, he's thrown 13 innings, but it's been 13 games. It's not coming here going 2, going 3, right? We don't need this stupid usage of David Bednar. Like, he's in the role he needs to be in, and he is completely dominating in it.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been called upon once to do one of those 4, 5, 6, 7 out saves,
right?
Like we saw the past couple of years. So, yeah, I mean, they're pitching him an inning at a time. They're giving him the rest that he needs, and when he's coming in, just overpowering hitters.
42% whiff rate on his four seam, 40% whiff rate on the curveball, 53% on the split finger. No one can literally touch David Bednar right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
the exit.
This is ridiculous.
And when they do make contact, average exit velocity is 84.3%, which puts him in the 95th percentile among pitches when it comes to average exit velo. So, yeah, I mean, it's just been it's really nice to see because, like I said, he was definitely a guy coming in where I don't think you were like worried, but you were like, is David Bednar really good or is he just good? Like
just a guy.
So far, he's been really good.
Right. So let's spin this. So of course we know how good David Bednar is, but again, he's part of that bullpen, and we talked. The bullpen just needs to get to Horderman, needs to get to Bednar. You're not going to have that consistently through a whole year to be successful. You're going to have some depth. You're going to have some other guys pitch to give you some quality innings and such. So let's talk about the rest. I talked a little bit about Jose Hernandez and Robert Stevenson yesterday on the post game, just because my take on this is if you squint, and you don't have to squint that hard anymore, I feel like. If you squint hard enough, you're starting to see some quality pitchers in this bullpen now. Again, we already talked about those two, but who's there to help bridge the gap? Jose Hernandez is pitching very, very well. 11.2 innings, 0.077 ERA. I'm not saying he's untouchable like David Bednar by any means, but only 8 hits, I believe, right? 11 strikeouts, 1 walk. He looks good. Not just like I'm a Rule 5 lefty. Let me be put in good situations that are, in benefit of me. Let me hide, let's hide Jose Hernandez. He's been put into more situations lately that are higher leverage, and he's getting the job done. The job done well.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he belongs. That's kind of the big thing, and that's not always the case with Rule 5 picks. The Pirates have had multiple Rule 5 picks over the last few decades that I can remember, and yeah, like they were on the roster because they wanted to keep them down the road. Like that was kind of the plan, right? I like Donnie Veal kind of comes to mind, where it's like they drafted that guy, huge stuff, projectable, and they couldn't get him into baseball games because he just simply wasn't good enough, but they had to figure out a way to keep him on the roster the entire year. This doesn't seem to be the case with Jose Hernandez. I mean, one, he's the only lefty left in that bullpen after Zastryzny goes down. So
right.
He's kind of forced to have to belong. They have to use him because there's no other lefty options in there.
Also, just to interject here. Will Crow on the 60-day DL. We talk about his reverse splits, even though he's not a lefty. He fares well. Like he's on the 60-day IL too, so he's gone.
Yeah. So like Hernandez is the guy, and the stuff looks good. I was a little concerned, after spring training because he got shelled pretty hard during spring, but we haven't seen that since he's come in. Yeah, I mean he's already pitched 11 2/3 innings. He's given up just one run. The guy absolutely is showing like he belongs, and the biggest part of it is he's throwing strikes. He's throwing strikes. The stuff is good enough that because he's throwing strikes, he's getting outs. That's kind of the key there, and I think that's kind of what we want to look at going forward with him is just can he continue to throw strikes? Because I think as long as he's going to do that, that limits the amount of base runners, just makes things a whole lot easier. Because that was always it wasn't necessarily an issue in the minors, but the strikeout numbers were always there, but the walks, just looking back last year, over 4 walks per 9 in Double-A, over 5 walks per 9 in High A the year before. So he's now gotten that number down significantly, and it's making a difference.
Right. You're correct. That's the biggest takeaway in my mind too. 11 strikeouts, 1 walk. This is your typical, thinking back to the day, like Neil Huntington, right? This is your project reliever that you're going to bring in who just walks everyone, and Neil Huntington brings him in, and it's like that's gone now. That's what's happening right now. He's not walking anybody. He's had stuff, but that was a big issue, and the home runs was a big issue too, especially last year. All that's gone. I'm not saying it's eliminated and won't come back, but so far what we see, that's what's fixed, and that's what's helping him become this good pitcher right now. So again, like everything that I see right now, so far I'm looking at Jose Hernandez like, you know what? You're not just this Rule 5, I need to hide you lefty. He looks like he could be a big part of this bullpen now. And let's get him into some 6th, 7th inning situations, So that's why I'm looking at him right now and saying, okay, he's adding some depth maybe to his bullpen. The next guy is Robert Stevenson. He's coming off the IL. I know it's even smaller sample for him, but so far what you're seeing from Robert Stevenson in his 6 innings so far in 8 games, a 0 ERA, right? The FIP's 188, but he looks good too. And if we're talking about pitches, right, his slider is up there already. It's already valued at -4 runs. His slider is, the way I'm kind of looking at Stevenson, and I'm not going to say back me up on this, but Stevenson's reminding me of good Kyle Crick, if that makes sense. Now the slider's maybe not as deadly as Kyle Crick.
Doesn't move quite as much. Yeah.
That was a weapon. I mean, his spin rate's 2970 on it. It's Kyle Crick's like 3,400 at times. But very, very slider heavy. He's thrown at 76% of the time. His 4-seamer only 20, but it's heavy slider, but that slider's so good that guys just can't simply hit it so far. I'm looking at Stevenson too and thinking like, you know what? I think he's good.
Well, the slider is good, and it's not something like that. That's not new this year. Like the slider has always been good his entire career. So the fact that he's just throwing it more now. So and I think that's what we're seeing with a lot of guys on this pitching staff is they're throwing their best pitch the most. And it's we talked about this last year with a few people. It's just this crazy concept where, hey, do what you do well. And what Stevenson does well is his slider. What Bednar does well is his fastball. So like what your strength is as a pitcher, lean on it. And they're doing that really across the entire pitching staff. Like I said, that slider is his best pitch. So what's he doing? He's throwing at 76% of the time. You throw your best pitch that often, and it doesn't really matter. Like if it's a good pitch and you throw it that much, you're going to get good results. Like
especially if it's like you said, a good pitch.
Yeah,
and this one's really good.
And so you're seeing that really across the pitching staff. You're seeing it with like Velasquez and his slider. You're seeing it with Oviedo and his slider. You're seeing it with Bednar and his fastball. You're seeing it with Stevenson and his slider. So like all these guys who have Yeah, Romo-D2 and his slider. So you're seeing this with these pitchers who have a weapon. They are utilizing those weapons, and they're utilizing as often as they can, and it's producing good results across the board, really.
So as we wrap this up, bullpen, good.
I'm not ready to like say that because the bullpen still is being helped a ton by the starting pitching. The fact that everybody is pitching when they're supposed to, they're not being overworked. I'm curious, like, I mean, if the starting pitching is able to keep up in pitch innings, that's kind of the big thing right now. If the starting pitching can go 6 innings every day, then yeah, the bullpen's good. Every bullpen's going to be good if that's the case. When we see really how good it is when games like yesterday happen, and when games like yesterday are going to happen, like pitchers are going to not be able to get out of the third inning. The difference now is, the Pirates, that's happening like once every 3 weeks right now. When that starts happening like once a week, how does that affect the bullpen? Right.
Sure.
And because that is going to happen once a week. Like it just happens. Like starting pitchers have bad outings, no matter how many good ones you have. So when that becomes a more, not necessarily a consistent thing, but a thing that happens every now and then, is this bullpen going to be able to hold up? And so I'm not ready to like slap the good label on this bullpen, but they are being called upon in the spots that they are being called upon right now, and it's just working out perfect.
Completely fair. Let's move on to our double shot next. We'll talk a little bit about the prospects. When I say the prospects, I want to talk Henry Davis, Jim, because he is absolutely obliterating the baseball right now. And I'm ready for my boy and your boy, Henry Davis, to get to the majors as soon as possible because, man, oh, man, am I getting excited right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've got him in Double-A, and I think he's clearly showing that he's ready for Triple-A, right? They have him separated from Endy just because they want both catching as often as possible. But yeah, we talked about Henry Davis last week, and we're talking about Henry Davis again. The guy continues to crush the ball in Double-A. He's walking over 20% of the time. He now has 6 home runs in his 16 games down there in Altoona. He's got a 206 weighted runs created plus, 273 batting average, 452 on base percentage, and a 655 slugging percentage. He looks the best that he's looked ever since the Pirates drafted him. And yeah, I know they want to do this whole like catcher, like they want both catching as often as possible. I don't know how long you can keep Davis in Double-A, because like at this point, I know the catching part is important, but like he's just beating up on these pitchers, like just teeing off on them.
That's just the thing. He's not challenged at all. Like there's no way he can be at this point. That's just where we're at. And again, when you look at Henry Davis last year, the numbers weren't there. But the guy didn't have a wrist or a hand like for pretty much all the year.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you didn't look at that and factor that in, like what were you doing? Right. So now that he's fully healthy, his bat is like his calling card, if anything. You talk about the defense and where's he going to be? There's definitely questions there, but the bat was always his calling card. And now he's in Double-A. He's showing like this is easy. So like what you're talking about is right. Like you want to see him in Triple-A to start getting challenged, because if he's doing this right now in Double-A, and again, we talk about, and Ben Cherington has talked about what Double-A is, you're close to the majors. So let's get him to Triple-A, get some challenging pitchers, to be faced against, and let's get him to the majors soon. Because if this team's 20-9 right now and they go through May and they come out of May looking pretty good, it might be Henry and Endy. It could be Hendy season, Jim.
And I think that's what's worth getting excited about right now, is this team at the major league level is looking pretty good. And you've got 2 guys who are legit down there, and they both seem to be ready. Like Endy's coming off the injury, but he's now back in the lineup DHing until he can catch later on this week. But Both of them are hitting. Both of them are hitting very well. Both of them, again, they're major league ready, and they're both good bats. So like they're guys who can help this team. I wasn't sure if Henry Davis was going to really be called up at all this year. I thought he could maybe take advantage of like a finally a full season of being healthy and develop a little bit, but like the guy's crushing the ball. Like you can't just like if he's doing this still a month from now, you can't just like you can't ignore it. You've got to be like, okay, we've got this number 1 overall pick that we invested into. Now's the time to use them.
Right. You're 100% correct, man. Like, I don't want to say this is overreaction to what's happening, but he's doing exactly everything that he's done, well, throughout college. And then as a pro, to the point of being injured. So like this isn't like, it's not like it's shocking that he's doing this. It's not like, okay, I'm not going to believe this right now. Let's give him some more time down there. He's doing what he's done all year. Oh, I'm sorry, all his career until getting injured. So now that he's back to where he was, he should be in AAA by now. Like it was the injury that held him back. So this isn't just like, okay, it's been a hot 16 games. He needs to stay down there, still season some more, whatever. No, this is the Henry Davis you expected. Let's get him to AAA. And like you're saying, you kind of thought like, just the way the roster was, everything's shaken out. Endy's going to come up. He's going to be first dibs. So Henry's going to stay down probably. I want them both up here like right away now.
Yeah.
Same time.
Yeah.
Same time, because Endy's injury kind of held him back a little bit. So give him like this next month to get back to it, get Henry Davis some at-bats, and let's get him up here at like the same day. Let's have was it Bly and O'Neill that came up together?
Yeah, let's have it be Hendy Day.
Yeah, have it be Hendy Day. Have them both come up here and just like each of them is like, no, it's his day. No, it's his day. Right. And just have a big thing of it. And like this team, if they're still doing this in May, like, that tells me this is legit.
Yeah, I mean the only problem you have now is like where do you put all these guys too? And it's you can only put one of them in catcher. And meanwhile,
too many wins, Jim.
it's like
you only put
one of them in catcher. There's definitely room for both of them. But yeah, it's exciting. And I just want to go back to this. Like, I think you got to treat Henry Davis a little bit different than other prospects. And the reason like is the pedigree. Like he is a number 1 overall draft pick. He was a number 1 overall draft pick for a reason. You drafted him out of college, so you kind of expected him like that bat doesn't really need a whole lot of seasoning. He played ACC baseball for 3 years. The ACC is, at the top, if not, it's SEC, ACC 1-2 when it comes to, talent in college baseball. So, he played good talent, when he was in college. He beat up high A pitching when they put him there. He got hurt when he moved to AA, and now you're seeing him healthy in AA, and he's just smashing the ball. So, yeah, Henry Davis. I don't think he necessarily needs a lot of time to cook down there. Like the bat was basically major league ready the day they drafted him. The thing that needed developed was his defense, game calling, things like that. And now we're seeing the bat's ready. Like the bat's there. And when you're doing this in AA, like AA is not AAA, AA is not the major leagues, but you're not facing scrubs in AA, and he's just teeing off on them. I don't know if they're gonna call him up in the next month or so, but he's on track right now to be with this club in early summer, and hopefully can contribute in a pretty big way, because the power is legit, and it's something that we talked about on draft day. It's something we've talked about since. He has major league power, so that's a useful tool. The Pirates could use a big power bat from the right side, and hopefully he can be the guy to provide that.
Right. Absolutely. And just like, I don't know, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We know how good Endy Rodriguez is. So him getting back to game action right now, he should be catching next week. So that's very good news from him. So, right. Like we were talking, he should be up from day one to begin with. So you figure he's going to be coming up mid-June, like you talk about early summer. And the way Henry Davis is playing right now, that timetable looks about the same. So it's going to be really, really cool stuff. And like the other thing too, like this, let's dismiss. I mean, the guy you talk about the power, but he doesn't strike out a ton. Only 20.5% strikeout rate, which is the same as his walk rate right now. He is Juan Soto. If you want to, keep putting tags on people like Jack Sawinski, Henry Davis is also Juan Soto right now.
Yeah, Henry Davis, I think, is older than Juan Soto too. So,
right.
No, he's not. Soto's 1 year older than Henry Davis.
But
that's another thing too. Like Henry Davis isn't some 21-year-old guy in AA that like you need time. Like he's 23. He's there. Like
for sure.
The guy's there.
Just one more prospect. We don't have to talk too deep on him, but I just want to recognize too. He was the pitcher of the month, Luis Ortiz. With the pitchers going down, Michael Burrows officially under the knife, getting Tommy John. So what we pretty much feared to be the worst is happening. He's going to be out all year. So like these reinforcements for starting pitchers, which by the way, right now with Vince Velasquez, I mean, do you really need them? We're talking about where the Henry and Endy fit on this team because there's too many good players. And it's like, well, where does Luis Ortiz fit on this team right now? Anyways, I'm sure they can find one, right? Injuries will happen. But with Burrows out and Priester pitching kind of iffy, Luis Ortiz is looking really good. So that's good to hear. So again, he was the pitcher of the month. He's got a 2.45 ERA in 29.1 innings.
Cool. Excellent April. And I think I mentioned it last week. And when I was able to see him in person when they came to Louisville, and the guy was untouchable. Like he threw 4 no-hit innings before Louisville finally got a hit against him. He is looking very good. And you mentioned finding a spot for him. Probably not going to be too difficult. You're just going to have attrition throughout the course of a season when it comes to your starting rotation. Right now, everybody seems to be performing pretty good. But the odds of everybody staying healthy for an entire year are extremely low. So I'm sure we'll be seeing Luis Ortiz at some point. There is the whole service time thing with him. But as of right now, like you mentioned with those other injuries, if we're talking about starting pitching depth, like he's the next guy up. There's not really anyone else on that 40-man that you could really rely on other than him.
Yep. Agree. All right. Do we want to wrap up and go to our third shot?
Let's do that. Yep.
Our triple shot. Let's talk about the Rays series coming up. The series of the century, Jim. May 2nd. Rays, Pirates, be there. The top 2 teams hashing it out in baseball because it's exactly what everyone thought coming into this year.
Yeah, and you know what? This is going to be probably the biggest test that Pirates pitching has faced. The entire Rays lineup, top to bottom, is just crushing the ball. I mean, this team's so good. I think we all expected the Rays to be good this year, but they are the best team in baseball. And I don't really know if you could make an argument for like anyone else at this point. I mean, the Pirates, again, the Pirates have been playing really, really well, but they haven't been playing as good as the Rays. The Rays are 23-6. They're winning almost 80% of their games currently. The pitching is good, but the offense is really what's been super impressive with them. It's going to be a test. It's going to be a big test.
Pirates offense. Now, mind you, hold on to something when I say this. Are you holding on to something, people? All right. The Pirates offense is the 4th best offense in baseball. Put that into perspective. We are talking about the 2023 Pittsburgh Pirates, the 4th best offense. You know what the weighted run created plus is? 114. They are 14% better than the average baseball. 3rd best is the Cubs, a 117 weighted runs created plus. The 2nd best offense in baseball, the Texas Rangers, at a 119. They're 19% better than average. You know who the number 1 team is? It's the Rays. So what are they? 120, 122, 124. There are 148 weighted runs created plus. 48% better than average. And the number 2 baseball team is 19%. That's how much better they are than everybody else offensively.
Well, when you look at like just their position player war right now too is essentially doubled anyone else. Like they are twice as good from a position player standpoint than everybody else. The Pirates position players combined for 5.5 WAR, 5.5.
Right.
The Rays combined for 10.9. It's literally double. Like
everybody has at least a WAR.
the team's so good. It's so good.
And I mean, mind you, 6 players do have at least 1 WAR.
Up and down the lineup. Yeah, like we talked about Jack Sawinski kind of leading this team. The Rays have 3 Jack Sawinskis right now. Wander Franco, Randy Arozarena, Josh Lau, all playing better than Jack Sawinski. So that's kind of what we're up against. Taylor Walls having an excellent season. Yandy Diaz, excellent season. Brandon Lowe, like top to bottom, just an excellent Josh Lowe, Brandon Lau. I get those confused all the time.
So dumb, but right.
And then you've got ex Buccos on this team too, where like it's like, what are these guys doing? Harold Ramirez all of a sudden is like he's Harold Ramirez is playing better than Connor Joe. The Harold Ramirez we gave Toronto in the Francisco Liriano trade like 6 years ago.
Forget Connor Joe. Like Harold Ramirez is playing better than Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, like and then you've got Christian Bethancourt, who was an Indianapolis Indians catcher like 4 years ago. He was like the third. There was like the backup catcher in Indianapolis.
Right.
The dude's starting for the Rays, the best team in the league, and he's raking. So it's like these guys, they're all clicking. It is funny though, seeing like the big difference in pitching strategies. The Rays lead the majors in innings pitched by relievers. So, you know, they're doing things in a completely different way than the Pirates are. They're leaning heavy on those bullpen arms, which is also very good. They've got a very good bullpen. But the offense is going to be, like I said, this is going to be a big test for this pitching staff, because up and down this line, like there are no weaknesses in this Rays lineup. Like there are none. Every single batter that they're going to face in this series is good. 1 through 9.
Let's talk about the Pirates offense, right? It's definitely improved. There's some power there, right? I mean, the Pirates hitting some home runs this year. Jack Sawinski, Andrew McCutchen, Brian Reynolds all have 5 or more home runs. 8 Tampa Bay Rays have at least 5 home runs. 8. Like you said, up and down the lineup, 1 through 8 have 5 or more home runs. They lead the majors in home runs at a ridiculous rate. They have 61 in 29 games. 2 home runs a game is happening for this team. It's incredible how good they are. And just like you said the names, and like 90% of our listeners right now are saying, who? The only one they recognize, I think, is probably Wander.
Yeah, you got Wander, Arozarena,
Ramirez because of the trade.
For the most part. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, up and down, like, I mean, Wander, this is Wander's breakout year. Like the dude is probably going to be an MVP candidate. He's 22 years old. We've all heard about Wander for years now. He has finally kind of, I mean, he got to the majors at age 20, right? And then, you know, he was always good. The defense helped him out a lot. Like he was a good hitter, but now you're seeing like the Wander that scouts just drolled over for years. He's very good. Randy Arozarena, you all know him just from postseason play. Like the guy's exciting and he's playing extremely well right now. Up and down. Like this team, it's, you know, you mentioned the home runs, but then also like they're just hitting in other ways. Six people are hitting over 300, and we're not talking about 6 people hitting over 300 with like, you know, 20 at bats or anything. Like 6 qualified hitters over 300. Like this team's just mashing the ball.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a fun series. Yeah,
huge test for the Pirates coming up, and like I want to see it. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. You want to face good teams if you're a good team. and this is it. So let's really find out what the Pirates team is all about. That's what this series is going to present. And yeah, like they're just going to mash. So huge test for the pitching right now too. How good is this starting pitching? And we talk about the bullpen. How good is this bullpen going to be?
Big test for the pitching, but it lines up well for the Pirates. They've got, Roansy Contreras going game 1, Mitch Keller going game 2, and the red hot Vince Velasquez going game 3. He puts his 18 scoreless inning streak to the test. It should be fun. It should be a fun series. The one thing I want to say is, like, if the Pirates lose 2 out of 3, guys, it's fine. This is like a really, really good Tampa Bay Rays baseball team. The Pirates literally won't play anybody this good. Maybe for the rest of the year. Like that's how good they are. So
especially at this point,
if they can take 2 out of 3 though from the Rays, then that's going to open, like, eyes are already open around Major League Baseball, but I still think people aren't really taking this team all that seriously. You take 2 out of 3 against the Rays in Tampa, people are going to start noticing.
So if you take 2 out of 3, 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Get your World Series tickets now, is what you're saying.
Start saving up. Mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. Block out the month of October. Yeah, because we got October coming.
It's coming, baby. Catch that fever. I'm excited. So we're going to wrap up. Before we leave, though, the people need to know, is Jim Rosati going to be at the game?
You know what? It's probably like a less than 50-50 chance right now.
Okay. It's
going to be a game time decision. I might just hop on a plane Tuesday and be there. You never know. I may just hop on a plane and do it. And then, what if I might just show up? I don't know. I haven't decided.
But people need to know so we can understand the Pirates are going to win or not. Because if you're there, it's over. I'm not even watching. I'm not even going to do a post game. I'm going to pre-record one and just play it. The Pirates were terrible. The Rays won. Game over. All right. Good. Let's get this series coming. I'm excited. Sucks there's a day off today because I want to watch this team play the Rays now. But we will catch you guys tomorrow. With that said, Cody will be streaming his MLB The Show during the day. We, of course, will have the game at night, so we'll have the post game afterwards. And I believe part 2 of our vlog is coming out today. So if you saw part 1, catch part 2 today. And if you haven't seen part 1, catch both of them today. Give yourself a little vlog doubleheader.
Boom. There we go.
Boom. All right, let's get out of here. Everyone, appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Have a good week, guys.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.